This screenshot was cross-posted in the BurbNBougie subreddit. She titled it, "What life has this man been living that led to this?" At the experienced age of 40, this man can't think of anything to live for other than BJ's. I can't imagine why his marriage crumbled. Sarcasm. Okay, so this is the screenshot. He said, "I'm afraid I'm not getting another BJ ever again." So they're getting divorced. He says, "My wife and I are getting divorced, and it's all moving along quite nicely. I'm not sad about losing her at all, not one tiny bit. She has some anger management issues, and her mood has dictated my life for the last 15 years. She can F off because I'm done. However, what if I ended up alone for the rest of my life? It's starting to hit me that that's really a possibility. And seriously, what if I'm never getting another BJ? I don't know if life is even worth living then. I'm only 40 years old, for God's sakes. But who would want me? F." Okay. Then this person, Miss Maya, says, "Other single ladies at your age would want you. Age has nothing to do with attractiveness. Single people come in all ages." So he's getting divorced from this woman that he says can F off right now. Her anger dictated his whole life, his whole life. He's now finally free of this woman that he can't stand. And what he's thinking about right now is a BJ. That tells you their priorities right there, their life, everything. Like everything could be crumbling in their mortgage not getting paid, job insecurity is there. It has nothing in the refrigerator but mayonnaise and ketchup. But the BJ, the lack of BJ, is what is at the forefront of his mind. I had to go find this post and see what the comments were like on this post. Mexican Burrito Man says, "Some people could really benefit from a journal." Then Iceberg Lettuce wondered, "How would you let people know you lack sloppy toppy in your life? A carrier pigeon?" And then Mexican Burrito Man says, "If a pigeon arrived at my window this morning with a little scroll around his neck, informing me that the OP will no longer be getting his peen sucked, I think I'd be a lot more receptive to this information." Yeah. And then Forbidden X says, "I'm hiring a pilot with a banner attached to his plane that reads, 'Why? No more sloppy toppy.'" Pseudo Burn says, "Send a raven." And then Team Thor had the exact same line in mind, but I didn't think any of you would get it. Anyone would get it. Good for Muffin says, "Dear sir, there shall no longer be sloppy toppy ever." This person says, "Calling it sloppy toppy should immediately remove you from any list of recipients." This person says, "I want a Dami mommy to give me sloppy toppy on God." If a double-decker bus says, "BJ's give your life meaning." Great Copy Pasta says, "His ex-wife must have been really good at it." Okay, One Happy Life says, "True story. 25 years ago, I was divorcing my ex-husband. He was verbally abusive, was not interested in counseling, and it was a mutual breakup. It took him a month to move out, during which we realized that we could be decent friends if romance wasn't involved. At some point when we were talking about his future, he was moving 500 miles away. He talked about how weird it would be to be so far from me after spending so much time together for 5 years. He started the next sentence with, 'After I moved, would it be possible?' And I was sure he was going to say, 'For me to call you to ask your advice, or for me to reach out to you to hear your voice.' Oh no, that wasn't it at all. He said, 'Would it be possible if I really missed your BJs for you to come 500 miles to visit and give me one?' I mean, vaguely flattering, but the audacity. Spoiler, I said no." And then the person below says, "LOL." Okay, so the OP, I guess he's responding to someone saying that the BJs must have been really good because he weighs in down here. The OP says, "She was, but they were very, very rare. And she made sure I knew what a huge hassle it was for her. I stayed because I didn't dare leave, I think, and because I thought I wasn't worth standing up for even by myself. I have taken unbelievable amounts of from her through the years." So she is just giving him all this. she could just F off. But still, these very, very rare BJs that she was given were still at the front of his mind, even despite all of that she put him through. This is these people that can't think of anything but their peen are baffling to me. Let's see what the women in the BurbNBougie community were saying. Acceptable average says, proving again that men only think with their peen. Your life is that sad and empty that you only have BJs to live for. Really? No friends, family, hobbies, a job or career you love that contributes to society? Is it really just going to be about your peen? Miss Myers, the woman that said single women would go for him. Miss Myers is not doing him any favors by lying to him. No woman in her right mind is going to want that pathetic piece of crap. Born Inspector says, I'm sure she was just angry for no reason, and her moodiness was simply because she was on her period 365 days a year. It couldn't possibly have been anything to do with the fact that he views women as existing solely for the fulfillment of his actual desires. No, that couldn't have been it. Conk Forever says, women hit the wall after 40. Just like stated above, it's all projection. It reminds me of that one guy who always told his girlfriend that she smells because daddy told him that way she'd never leave him. That's why they tell us about the wall. It's always been them. Complex Clue says OP's getting divorced and he's scared about never getting a blowy Joey again. Talk about priorities. Catch Me If You Can says, I can almost bet he never reciprocated. He seems like the type. Cozy Sweatsuit says, other single ladies his age do not want him. Trust me, I know women in and past middle age who get tons of attention from desirable and younger men and are constantly having to shoo off nasty men their age and older. Also, a man of his age on the market is a huge red flag. Many women are single by choice or because they have bare minimum standards that most of these nasty scrotes cannot meet. Men are almost never single by choice, but because they are so hideous and terrible that even the pick-me's and be kind, he's trying types threw in the towel. If they are single by choice, it's because they want to be non-committal and actual with lots of women, objectifying piece of poops who are likely just waiting to give you HPV. You don't want HPV. Who delusionally thought they should obsess over their meaningless careers and they could have money to attract younger women later. However, men age so much worse than women with their baldness and potbelly and general entitled belief that looks don't matter for men. And also, if he's been single a while, he's a ticking time bomb for being a medical burden since no one has forced and nagged him to go to the doctor. No one is looking for a liability. My friend in her 40s is constantly complaining about how ugly men her age are compared to her. And she has no issue getting men my age and younger. I'm mid-20s because she has basic hygiene, grooming, and boobs. Men will never be in demand unless they induce it by making us economically or otherwise dependent on them. They know this. This is why they defend trad relationships, which are inherently abusive, and X work. The BJ thing is from Corn, and he's right. He won't be getting any more, most likely. Women need to stop giving them entirely, but that's a separate post. This woman, Cozy Sweatsuit, kind of dropped the mic with that comment. And I'm going to leave it there because she said pretty much everything. These men are hitting the walls with their faces, their bellies, and their peens, and they are not doing well because of it, because they live their lives solely for so much outside validation, and they're not doing well. They're failing and flailing. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.